Devils. Tuesday. This is The Woo Report. The Woo Report, episode 283, titled What to Do with Alexander Holtz and Kevin Bahl. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. Coming to you live from the Primetime Radio Studios. Happy Devils Tuesday to you, Mike Rossi. I see the YouTube Live going crazy, asking questions. What to do with Alexander Holtz and Kevin Bahl. It's something that I've been thinking about since training camp. Since training camp, we had high hopes for Alexander Holtz and Kevin Bahl. And I'd like to get your opinions, because that's what we're all about here. Opinions. Your comments, your questions, all that jazz. As, well, waiting for Devils hockey to resume, but we got the NHL All-Star game. With Alexander Holtz, we all had high hopes. Picked in 2020 draft ahead of Dawson Mercer and Shakira Muhammadulin. Right now, it is Alexander Holtz's chance to show what he can do. Kevin Bahl as well. Alexander Holtz, after last season, was told, hey, here are some steps for you to take it to the next level. Alexander Holtz, working with the skating coach, Alexander Holtz, had a very good preseason, but we'd like to see more. Same with Kevin Bahl. Kevin Bahl had some good moments last season. When he's not tentative, when he's aggressive, and using that size, he's a pretty good player. But right now, we're approaching trade deadline for a handful of weeks. We're kind of not really approaching, but probably a month away, a little more. And all the Timo Meier talk and Lou Lamoriello making that trade for Bo Horvat. Some of you have commented not liking trading Jesper Bratt. That we can fit both under the salary cap. Woo, you don't know what you're talking about. Woo, you should think before you speak. Look, I can understand a difference of opinion. Of course you can fit them under the salary cap at the same time. But is it worth it long term? Do you want to tie up your cap space for a very long time if you re-sign Timo Meier long term and Jesper Bratt at the same time? I just don't think, you know what, to tell you the truth, I like how the Devils are, and you might as well follow through. You don't need to make a trade, and I like to see what this team can do with a couple tweaks here and there, but not millions of dollars having to be spent to not only, well, first off, if you're going to trade for Timo Meier, you got to give up some assets. And just remember, when the Matthew Tkachuk sweepstakes were happening, and I felt that I don't think anybody's on the same planet. Some of the Devils fans and people making those offers, and it turned out that Florida paid a big price to get Matthew Tkachuk. And I think the Devils should stand pat. Now, there's two things you could do with Alexander Holtz and Kevin Bahl. And this is a decision that Tom Fitzgerald's going to have to make here. Are you going to let them develop and play? Can't really send them down to Utica. I think that'd be counterproductive. Or could they be part of a trade? Alexander Holtz and Kevin Bahl are attractive prospects with some NHL experience. They've played some games. But is that enough to get Timo Meier? And you got to be realistic. I don't think San Jose is going to take Holtz or Bahl. And that's why I mentioned Bratt, because the bottom line here, and I hate to be the guy that gives you kind of the reality and harsh news, but Bratt is not re-signed long-term. Talks have stalled. They have slowed down. And this is why Tom Fitzgerald has to make some hard decisions here. He is the only one that is privy to all that information. We can only speculate from an outsider unless you've got a bug in the room and you can listen into these conversations. But the bottom line is rumors are that Jesper Bratt, his agent, they are tough negotiators. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised. Of even having the idea of trading Jesper Bratt. I know he's a fan favorite to some, like Ramona and all that. But the bottom line is he hasn't been re-signed yet. He's got one more year. By the end of this season, in July, the Devils have one more year with him. And I'll tell you, what will it take to re-sign Jesper Bratt? I don't know. It's nothing, I have anything against him. But it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I kind of like having some cap space. I kind of like having some flexibility. But if you're not going to re-sign Jesper Bratt, you might as well, his stock is high right now, shop him around. Maybe that will get contract negotiations going. You got to put the pressure on as well. Cornhole says Bratt, Holtz, Blackwood, first round, and prospect for Timo Meier. Again, what kind of first round? It came out that Lou Lamoriello gave up a conditional pick, meaning top 12 protected. But you know what? It's what Tom Fitzgerald himself said once, that these draft picks are players and they are people too. Just like when Lou Lamoriello traded the 9th overall pick in 2013 for Corey Schneider, which coincidentally was Bo Horvat. Now, granted, would New Jersey have drafted him at that time if there was no trade in the works? It's anybody's guess. And Cornhole thinks that Timo is worth it, the risk we got to take. And I would agree. With that. But you're going to have to pay a price, though. You're going to have to pay a price. Geeky Gamer Family says, why take that risk? We are third in the NHL right now. And that is true. I kind of want to, if I was the Devils GM, unless somebody gives an unbelievable offer, or San Jose would agree to basically have Tom Fitzgerald fleece the team for Timo Meier, I'm all about that. But to evaluate this team, is this team really good? Is this team ready to take it to the next level, get into the playoffs, and go far, I think you could do that without making a big trade. I think you can, we suggested yesterday's Woo report, Luke Shen. It's not going to hit you on the salary cap. I'm sure you can trade a mid-round pick to get Luke Shen to kind of shore up the defense. You need some beef. The playoffs is a different animal, folks. It's a different animal. Oh, my goodness, says we have plenty of pieces to get Timo without giving up Brat. They've already said that the price is going to be in Timo. We cannot trade Brat during a cup run. Fair enough. That's a fair point. If you can't reach him in agreement with Brat, trade him in the offseason. But I believe Brat's value is higher now than next summer, this upcoming summer. I think Brat's trade value is very high right now. I think a team that's willing to give up players back to New Jersey from the West Coast, preferably. But think about this. But at the same time, for up to me, if I'm negotiating with Jesper Bratt and we're going nowhere, they're not. If we're worlds apart on the number, he's gone. He's gone. Because I don't think Tom Fitzgerald is lowballing Jesper Bratt. I think Jesper Bratt's agent is looking to get big dollars, like silly dollars, which he's doing his job, but you know what? You kind of have to push back. That's just my opinion on that. Jack Hughes, he didn't play any games. 8 years, $8 million per. Nico Hischier didn't play any games. But in Bratt's defense, they're going to get another contract year once their deals expire. Whereas Bratt, this is his time to shine. Max says a sixth rounder making $8 million, would be insane. Bratt is definitely special though. Yeah, he is a sixth rounder, but that shouldn't matter. I mean, Pavel Datsyuk, Henrik Zetterberg, they were later rounds. They would be worth every penny in today's market. But those are my thoughts. But Alexander Holtz and Kevin Bahl, would you keep them for another year? Do you have high hopes on these two? Kevin Bahl, Luke Hughes, Muhammad Dolan, and you've got some other D guys in the system. You gotta put up or shut up right now. This is your chance with the New Jersey Devils. Alexander Holtz, is he skating better? Is he working hard for that goal? He obviously is. Oh my goodness, says both of those guys are good prospects but expendable, especially Bahl. And that's exactly it. That's exactly it. Do I want to see Holtz and Bahl succeed with the New Jersey Devils? Absolutely. But right now, they have value in a possible trade It's just a matter of which team is willing to bite. Could Riley Walsh's name as a prospect be in the mix? It's a good question. Also, Craig Best says on the Facebook Live, that being said, we are good. We are a good team, and next year's free agent pool is deep. Just remember that, guys. Free agency next summer. You don't want to tie up your cap space either, when you don't have to give up prospects and players to get who you want in free agency. Think about it. It's smart money. It's smart money. I mean, one of the things, I know it's a different sport, but one of the things the New York Mets did when they signed all those high-priced free agents is they didn't have to give up anything in compensation. In baseball, certain players, if you sign, you would have to give up compensation. NHL free agency, you don't have to give up compensation. But there's a lot of fans that want Timo Meier, but at what price? At what price? You have to ask yourself that question. Matt Freudenberger, hello. Happy Devil's Tuesday to you, Matt Freudenberger. Just love the comments. Well, the month of January has been a record month for the Let's Go Devils podcast by a mile. I want to thank you, the fans, made this possible. We're inching closer to our 500,000 party and our 500,000 downloads. We're just about 10,000 downloads away, moving at a rapid pace, even when there's no Devils hockey. Can't thank you enough. Got a lot of criticism lately. Got a lot of criticisms lately, but that's good. It means you are listening. It means you care about the New Jersey Devils. Cornhole says, don't you guys think that a Devils trade is coming really, really soon? Like maybe tomorrow? LOL. Not really. Again, Tom Fitzgerald's got all the leverage here. He doesn't have to make a move. Do we want him to make a move? Of course, we're fans. Let's see here. Supernova 68 is asking, what time is the gala starting on the 25th? Just made arrangements for the game. Well, this is how we're going to roll. We don't have an official time, but I can assure you that I will be there by 9 a.m. that day, setting up. Probably about 1 p.m. I mean, the bar actually opens whenever. So I don't think you're going to miss anything. But all the hoopla is probably going to start around 3 p.m. Eastern. Shorts guy, he's doing some polar bear thing. He's going to, skinny dip in the ocean somewhere. I don't know where he's going to be. I'm just making that up. But he's doing some polar bear thing. He won't be there till 3 p.m. Beer Baron with the kids and everything, probably be there by 3 p.m., 4 p.m. Eastern. Also, Arlette is going to stop by on the 25th of February. Confirmed. We're also trying to confirm other friends of the podcast as well. Arlette's going to sing. Going to sing us a beautiful song at American Whiskey. Maybe 2, maybe 3. All entertainment. No, puck drop is 7 p.m. as far as I know, max. Depending upon which time zone you're at, but that's okay. Supernova. So let's just make it by 3 p.m. If you get there by 3 p.m., you're going to be very happy. But you do want to get there early because it's the 2003 Stanley Cup celebration. Max says, is she going to sing us our favorite Rangers Suck song? Why don't you go to the event? You'll find out. Also, we're going to be doing another event with Arlette at Stagehouse Tavern at the end of the year on April 13th. We'll have more information about that. That was confirmed today. Behind the scenes, Stagehouse Tavern, Route 22 in Mountainside, New Jersey on April 13th. Last game of the season when the Devils take on the Washington Capitals on the road. We will be at Stagehouse Tavern. Shorts guy has confirmed he'll be there as well. But let's stick to February 25th, our $500,000 party. It's going to be great. Geeky Gamer Family says, I like Kevin Bahl, but he is definitely expendable. Of course, everybody's expendable, except for Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes, VTech. All right, folks. Well, that's it for tonight. Dropping the podcast at midnight for your morning and afternoon commute. State of the Fan address. 8:30 p.m. Eastern with Nick Villano and I. Byron Bader will be our guest for tomorrow. State of the Fan address. Go to pucksandpitchforks.com as well. Boy, we're just itching for Devils hockey. Itching for Devils hockey. Ted says Devils Flyers should be a very good game. It should be an excellent game. 2003 Stanley Cup team. Maybe I should wear my Marty Brodeur gear on February 25th. I don't know how I can produce a podcast with the goalie gear on, but you never know. Shenanigans happen all the time. At American Whiskey, 51 Edison Place, across the street from Prudential Center, next to Championship Plaza. 51 Edison Place. That's where it's at. All right, folks. Let's see here. To answer your question, Max, who's extremely reliable for trade deadline? I mean, obviously, Elliot Friedman, Frank Saravalli, I like. Kevin Weeks is very good. We should get Elliot Friedman on. Bob McKenzie, Margarita Bob. So, if you don't have tickets for the February 25th game, people have asked me this. The bar is practically like, I'm telling you, there are a lot of people that stay at the bar after game day live and just watch the game. Some people forgot they even had tickets. They're having such a good time. So if I were you, just come hang out. If you don't have a ticket, you can always pick up a ticket on the secondary market after the game starts. You can kind of sneak in that way without paying a whole lot. It's pretty much all phone tickets unless you get the tickets at the box office, Steve Engel. Anyway. All right, folks. Going to hit the music. Dropping the podcast at midnight, as I said, for your commute. Trying to keep this thing going, folks. And thank you. Please rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts. Give us a 5-star rating, please. Write us a nice review. Also, if you haven't done already, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Let's Go Devils. Set the notifications. Twitter, at Let's Go Devils Pod. On Facebook, at Let's Go Devils Podcast. See you tomorrow. State of the Fan address, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Also, go to pucksandpitchforks.com for all your Devils needs. Till next time, this is the Woo Report. Let's go Devils.